Hello, Matt. Welcome back to the Isekai Realms, where we are a bunch of creatives playing ourselves in the realms. I have my new D&D shirt for today, which I think fits the theme. And I am Eric Scott DeB. I play Elric Thalavar, a sort of narrowly veiled version of myself in the realms. Well, he's trying to be lawful good. I'm not lawful good naturally, so that's the character arc struggle that I'm going through. And I am a writer, and author, game designer, and you could find my stuff online. I wanted to give a brief shout out to the Dungeonscrawlers Discord, which is a fun place with great memeage and good conversations. So come join us if you haven't already. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm a writer, TTRPG streamer, and game designer, and I'll be playing Amara Valerian, aka me, who is trying to learn to be a little more chaotic neutral, but not so chaotic neutral that she goes full chaotic neutral. We'll see how that goes.
Never go full chaotic neutral.
Just a little as a treat. All right.
I'm Rhiannon Held. Apologies once more for the voice without an image. Having some back problems. Lying down. So I have two dice partners to tell you about. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you're skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. You can find their dice and accessories at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com. And I realize I forgot to talk about myself. I write urban fantasy as Rhiannon Held, and space opera as RZ Held. So,
hello, everybody. I am Joel Everett. Usually one of your mods, posting silly polls in chat where there are only bad choices for our characters to follow. I am playing a version of myself pulled into the realms and currently playing a fighter. Over to you, Randy.
Hey everyone, Randy, playing Randy, a cleric slash bard of Finder.
Excellent.
And Chris.
All right, thank you very much. And I am Chris, aka Chris the Grey, your dungeon master for this evening. So I think we're in episode 10 of book 2, closing in on our finale. For this is going to broadcast at a time that's totally different from the time we are in life, but a lot of us are back from Gen Con, sort of had some fun at that particular place, crowded and crazy. But when last we left our heroes here, they had finally gotten to the city of Waterdeep, explored Trollskull Manor. Lady Laryl had left them some manservants here in the castle here in the manor to provide for their needs and a little fund to take care of their day-to-day requirements. And they'd arrived at night because the promenade's night is the upstairs day and its day is the upstairs night. And so they had dinner. They didn't even really ask me what it all was, but it was tasty. So, I mean, who needs to know what's on that skewer?
We pretended we knew what it was.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what happened.
That's what happened.
We did not know what it was, though.
You didn't, but it was delightful. So, I mean, really, does it matter?
Sometimes better not knowing.
Yeah.
I think the DM is hinting that we need to ask him what we're eating. Anyway,
you do you seem happy to eat. That's the key element. So, anyway, you ate, you got rooms, you settled in, and some of you caught a few winks. A couple of you snuck out and engaged on your own little side adventures in the city. That would be Allie and Randy. But they're now back from those, and morning has arrived, and that came with it a note with little wings that arrived on Rhiannon's window, which was a dinner invitation from Tormil Gost, the wizard and nobleman who you met in the promenade when you rescued him from some ogres and goblins. So we will pick our action up at that point. Rhiannon has got the note, dressed for the morning, and what do you want to do next?
I'll go down to breakfast. I'm taking the note with me. I assume Ferris is coming along.
You are correct. It is difficult to separate him from you. So he is riding along on your shoulder. He doesn't have to put a lot of effort into getting from place to place because fortunately he has you.
Well, as I recall, I asked for a somewhere for him to ride, so that
Yes,
he's not just on my shoulder.
That's
all the
among
time,
your
but-
list of, or among
good.
your wish list of items that you have for the day.
And I guess I'm,
Okay.
I'm
Like-
walking into breakfast at this point.
Yes, probably just straight from the street.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And so breakfast is mostly fruit, bread, and cheese, with a light ale and wine to partner it. Heavily watered down in Rhiannon's case as Arton, the sort of master of the house, has discovered from last night what it is you like to drink, and he's
Oh.
even put a little honey in it to sweeten it up for you.
Good service. I like it.
And so you're all there, gathered together. Zara is with you. She has the babes and she's feeding them. And Gedrin is at his usual place, Eric, which is next to you.
I'm encouraging Gedrin to eat a lot because growing young people need to eat a lot.
Okay. He will tear in to the various things on offer this morning.
And I don't know how much table manner he knows, but I am trained in etiquette, so I am also training him as we eat breakfast.
He was taught not to eat like a barbarian by his mother, but he doesn't have refined graces, and so you're providing him with some of those.
That's right.
Noted. Okay.
I think Amara is just gonna go still wearing what she was wearing last night, looking somewhat disheveled,
Hmm.
and is loading up just a plate with what is probably a lot of food for an elf, but still probably more reasonable for everybody else. But
Gotcha.
mostly fruit, but little bits of bread and cheese and stuff.
Fair enough. All right. You are to your own devices to discuss whatever it is you like.
No, Gedrin, don't stare. Aunt Tamara was just out doing adventure
Patrol.
business.
Patrol.
Yeah, I was like she's got like a piece of bread in her mouth. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. She grabs some wine.
One day, you too will do adventure business that does not allow you to sleep very often. So,
He'll look up at you sagely as you say that.
I mean,
but
luckily,
not yet. You need
I
to get
don't
a
need
full
much
amount of sleep.
So your friend will hop down onto the table and start looking for what he thinks he might find edible.
Oh, okay, good.
You're left to your own devices. What do you wish to tell the group?
Well, I mean, I want to tell the group something through the hand linkage. So I'm gonna hold out my hands, which I'm sure everybody by now is like, yeah, we know what this
Yeah.
is about.
Gedrin, this is where we hold hands and pause for a moment to consider how blessed we are.
Do you wish me to say a prayer to Helm, Father?
If you wish.
Okay. Do you want his little hand joined into
Oh,
your,
yeah, I grab his little hand. I
Okay.
don't think he's going to hear what we say, but it would be interesting to find out if he does.
Okay, fair enough. All
I'm
right,
gonna-
Rhiannon.
Look sideways at Eric and say, Gedrin, are you hearing this?
He seems not to be hearing it. He's saying a prayer to Helm, thanking
Okay.
you,
Well, that's
thanking
good.
Helm for the return of his father, promising Helm that he will be ever vigilant from here on forward, etc., etc.
Don't forget the bit about loyalty. All right, what do you got to tell us, Rhiannon?
You know, with the kid, you could just wait for the awkward questions as opposed to anticipating them and giving the awkward answers before he even asks. He might not know any different.
The prayer may not
Anyway.
last that long.
Look, I got a bit. I got to stick to it. What you got?
So, heraldry, or I don't know, heraldry, religious iconography.
Okay.
So 7 stars and eyes. Mistra, right? It seemed like from context. I don't know them at all.
That
No,
seems
that's-
more like Salune. to
Lune,
me.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Or Guillermo de Toro.
Goddess of the
Yeah.
moon, wisdom.
Mistra is 7 stars, but I believe Salune is
So-
7 stars and eyes.
Yeah, Mistra
Yeah,
is 7
Salune-
stars and like a scroll, which looks like a flame.
I thought it was more mist, but regardless,
It depends.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of Mistras.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you draw mist
Yeah,
anyway?
it's like we're on like
Okay, but
wait,
anyway.
which mist are we on
Why
right
do you
now?
ask, Rhiannon?
Well, so Ferris drew it, and I don't know shit. So I was
He's looking back over his shoulder at you at the moment.
well, my hands are busy, I guess, because I was gonna beckon him over, but and I said Mistra because that's what I guessed. What wasn't somebody was wearing the medallion of that.
The eyes, Rhiannon, on that symbol that he drew, and the eyes on the medallion were in the correct orientation / placement, right? So these guys are describing a symbol of Selune, and maybe the eyes are in the same place, or the stars rather, excuse me, are in the same place in the Mistra symbol as they are in the Selune symbol. But you know that the stars were in the configuration that you saw in the Mistra symbol. So guess you'd have to see both to really know.
Okay.
It could be some kind of blended symbology for a particular order. Or
Eric, why don't you do me a favor and roll a 20-sided?
Yep. 6.
You were dead once, not too long ago.
Correct.
And that was
I'm sure it won't be the last time.
Yeah. And that was a traumatic experience for you. So, in a way, some of the things that happened there have sort of faded into sort of the back of your mind. But every now and then, this being one of those nows or thens, when something happens that reminds you of that, they jump to the forefront of your mind. And
there's this moment of trauma response, and then I remember something. Yeah.
And so you'll all sort of detect a weird look over Eric's face, right? And then there is a moment where you're like, okay, this is sounding like a symbol I've seen once before. I saw it at Gen Con with some zombies, and there were these people.
Oh, yes.
And Krista Gray was there, but he didn't look like the Krista Gray I met. And they had this symbol on a pin, and they said it was a combination of 3 gods. They said it was a combination of 3 gods. That's what you've got with your sick.
Right. Now I'm thinking back to the Candlekeep Presents pins.
The funny thing is, I recently watched this to edit it down so we could broadcast it. So I actually might remember more of it than you do.
I mean,
so
I was gonna say it's been more than a year in real time, but it's been like 36 hours for Eric in game. So maybe a refresher on that, maybe.
Right.
He's trying to remember the Candlekeep pins.
Yeah, it was many years ago, though.
The Candlekeep pins were, I'll give you a mulligan, Selune, Mistra, and Shar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was there a border, a purple border? Like a circle?
That's to you, Rhiannon, or are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking
about
Rhiannon.
the symbol. Okay.
Well, I mean, he was just drawing it so there wouldn't be colors, but was there a border, DM?
He did not draw a circle around it.
Okay.
So, some years ago, we run this event at Gen Con. It's not important. This is a long story, but we create pins, and some years ago, we created a pin which was combining 3 deities, Mistra, Selune, and Shar. I did remember this, Chris. I was just like thinking of what to say. And we were talking about powerful women in the realms. I think that was the theme of that year. And, why exactly Ferris would have drawn that symbol, I am not sure. There could be, like I said, a particular organization that uses that symbol, or maybe someone trying to reconcile those faiths. You see, in the beginning, there was only the great Shantae. No, you know what? Anyway,
I'm sorry,
Shar and Selune are sisters, and Mistra is their daughter, or something like that.
You're
saying related to each other
in the real world or back in
Correct.
our world.
Yes.
And Chris the Grey was involved in that? Was part of that?
Well, he came to the Candlekeep seminar that year, and he has one of those pins. And so do others in his entourage who are, well, I'm not sure if they were the original people at the time or if they are the shadowy versions of those people, or if they were
Wait.
the real people put into the shadowy version of the
Wait.
bodies.
Well,
Elric,
so what
back up.
I'm hearing here is that we have more meddling at going on, like, because Randy Finder's not in the mark, so Finder's involved through Randy, and then like whatever power, or maybe not direct power, but people ascribing to that power sent Ferris. So more meddling is the upshot here, I think.
Can we roll that
Yeah.
back slightly?
Sure.
Shadowy versions? What are you talking about?
I said the word shadowy and you got all excited, didn't I?
No, that's not.
Sorry, just a joke. Okay, so when the other people, that is Chris the Grey and his entourage, came to the realms, apparently, I think, there are other versions of them that exist in the mortal world that we left. And those versions are what I mean by shadowy versions. I'm not sure what they are. They might be evil. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is there may be.
I'm loving the expression on Joel's face. The expression on Joel's face is saying to me, and you are telling us this now. That's what that expression is.
And
Look,
there-
there wasn't a lot of time, okay? It's been 36 hours.
What I'm hearing is there might be versions of us back where we came from, like we
There might
never
be.
left.
I'm not sure. There might be. I have no way to corroborate or verify that. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
You never know what Chris the Grey could do. Or Loki, if he was indeed Loki at the time.
Well, that's the first time you've ever
Loki?
said that name.
It is. In my head, not out loud.
Loki. Like
Loki,
Norse
god of
god,
mischief.
trickery. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had the full Loki TV show thing going on with the daggers.
I'm sorry, what?
You've seen the Loki TV show, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen I love that show, but it's not the point. What? Real? Okay, so you
Chris the
you
Grey
met-
was dressed up as Loki from the
okay,
TV show.
Okay,
But
so
he
it's a
might have
costume.
actually been Loki because things are weird when you're dead.
Yeah, somebody's crossing the Pantheon streams.
Yeah, my head hurts.
I mean, Tyr exists.
might
in
be The
both,
Hangover.
So
Yeah.
but my
Yeah,
head
Tyr
hurts.
is an importation from the Norse pantheon.
That is true. I mean, there's what the Mulhorandi pantheon is entirely from Earth, I believe.
I think there's pseudo-Egyptian.
Well, there's like
Oh,
if
and
I-
Kisif the Chaos Hound. He's
Mhm.
basically Fenris or Fenrir. Oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting those two. Oh no. One's a Dragon Age
Okay, I
character,
think
one's a
we're- I
Norse monster.
Fenrir
Fenris
is
is
the
the Norse
monster you're
character.
looking for.
Oh,
Fenrir
duh.
is
Okay.
Fenrir is from Norse mythology, also called the Fenris wolf, which is where Fenris in Dragon Age comes from. It's not the point. We're getting sidetracked.
We are. Okay.
Back on track.
meanwhile, Gedrin finished his prayer like 4 minutes ago and is now just staring at us, with wondering what's happening.
I look
Prayer.
over to him and I say, Gedrin, would you offer a prayer to Torm, please?
He was actually just keeping it going because you were all still quiet. So he was just babbling. But now that you've given him somewhere to go with that, he will happily switch topics to
Okay,
Torm.
Great.
so
We're quiet,
Okay.
but it's like that We're Always Sunny meme. We have like a murder board of deities, and we're trying to
Yeah.
draw. We're madly drawing strings between them.
So to
Mhm,
recap, shadowy copies of us potentially.
Potentially.
You potentially met the Loki,
Yes.
but you also met Chris the Grey and
Probably.
others there. Probably.
I have met this world's version of Chris the Grey. I have met that world's version of Chris the Grey. Probably. You know, Odin might have been there too. Now that I think about it.
You know,
Okay.
It's okay,
Or-
it's been
Or it might have just been Ed Greenwood dressed as Odin.
I don't know why that doesn't make it better, but it doesn't make it better.
Horribly ironic.
Am I
Horribly
next
ironic.
to Eric, or like across
You
from
are.
him?
I would assume that you took one of his hands.
All right. People who withhold information get kicked in the shins.
Ow! Ow! Again! Ow! All right, I wasn't trying to withhold information. It didn't seem relevant at the time, and we were busy.
Hmm.
All right,
All right. Well,
I
we're
filled
getting
them
to it
in
now.
on what happened during that episode. I tell Gedrin that he needs to pray to Tyr and Ilmater next, because it's going to take
Okay.
that long.
He'll
Or you
just
could release
do his
him to
best.
like go find Zara.
And I say, and once you're done with Ilmater, you can go ahead and start eating. If we are still quiet, don't mind us. It's just a cultural thing.
I believe you were told to torture the boy, but not in this way.
He's like, I'm so hungry.
The food's getting cold, Dad. Come on.
All right. So
Okay.
I tell everybody as much as I remember from being dead. So basically, I teleported to what I thought was actual Gen Con, the Marriott specifically, for those of you who have been to actual Gen Con. And there I met up with a bunch of people who I know in real life, but they didn't know me, at least not personally, because I don't think I had actually met these people before they came to the realms. The people that I know in real life are copies of them that exist in the real world.
Wait, so when you died, you went back to Earth? You think?
I went to a demi-plane that resembled Earth, as far as I can tell. I don't think it was actual Earth, because some weird stuff was happening. We were shrouded around in darkness. All the con-goers collapsed to the ground and became zombies and started eating the other people that I encountered. And then I appeared and rescued them. Not the con-goers; they were still zombies. The people I rescued were the other people who are here in the realms. Chris the Grey's party. Chris the Grey was one of the ones who was there. He was eaten first by the zombies. Every time, remarkably.
Seems almost fitting.
True.
So it was a time loop thing as well?
Yes, they would all get eaten by zombies, and then they'd wake up back at the table, and then the zombies would attack them in like about 2 minutes.
I hate time loops.
Yeah.
Like,
I
this is a
think
plot
Loki-
device. I hate time loops.
Loki had trapped them in this time loop because I think he is their enemy in some way.
Okay, when
Anyway,
you say-
he showed up to brag and boast and stunt on them like a proper villain. So, you know,
You didn't make Loki angry at all, did you? Like, please
at
tell me
me
you didn't make Loki
personally, I
angry.
don't think
Yes.
so.
Because the last thing
I-
we need is an adversary, a new adversary for ourselves.
I
That's the last
complimented
thing
his
we need right now.
daggers. What do you want? Anyway,
Okay. Moving on.
they also drained some power out of Vindicator to power their own spells and abilities.
Huh.
I don't think Vindicator was diminished exactly. I think Vindicator maybe unlocked their abilities.
Are you deliberately or not deliberately not mentioning their marks?
I am not deliberately not mentioning their marks. Oh yeah, they had marks as well. Not like ours. I don't remember the specifics.
Was
Unless
it
I
the
do remember
Sil-
the specifics.
Salune?
You do.
Okay. They were those three. They were the Mistra and Salune and Shar marks.
Chris the Grey did not have one, but the players did.
Okay, so possibly this ferret is related to those characters in some way.
Possibly he was the familiar of one of those players.
Yes. Possibly he is one of those players in a ferret form.
Huh.
My money's on Shipley.
Okay.
M wouldn't
Well,
do this. M would definitely come as an elf or a drow. My
I
money's
guess-
on Shipley.
I guess Char's in their symbol, which honestly, I'm kind of surprised she made her mark visible in a symbol at all, given that it's Char with the whole. Not the point.
It might not have originally been that way. Like they
Yeah.
might have just uncovered it in some way, you know?
Fair.
Like we uncovered the
Well, Eric, didn't
B-Dave symbol.
when you well, that was always there. We just didn't recognize it initially.
But we
Eric,
did a wrench eventually, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
Right. When you
it's
talked to
him.
Helm, though, didn't he tell you that he was not party to creating our marks?
I believe that's correct.
Okay,
That is
so
correct.
that's so the fact that she was, the fact that her symbol is part of it does not necessarily mean that she is involved.
Helm suggested
Right.
that it was a potential future Helm, Eric, but it wasn't the present one.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. No.
Oh wait,
that-
we
yeah.
needed more timey-wimey. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
there's-
too
Yeah,
boring as it
that's
was.
what we needed.
Some time shenanigans going on.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
I
might
think
it might be a different helm.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Because
See, I think what happened with Helm was that I used the mark and stole his sword,
kind of
Vindicator,
figured that, yeah.
and he was like, "Hey, can I have that back?" And instead, I convinced him to let me be his paladin. Or
That
maybe
tracks.
he
Would.
wanted me
That
to be
tracks.
his paladin already. I don't know.
You
Anyway.
would. Anyway. Okay.
So I mean, it's sounding to me like we're at this epicenter of like other powers like barreling towards their own goals. So I'm in favor of like stepping back and letting them smash into each other, as opposed to like joining any particular side.
Without us
Um,
being in the middle.
Correct. Yes.
Sage.
I mean, I will admit a little bit. I'm glad that they had a shitty part of their mark too, and we're just like great, awesome gods.
Yeah,
in their
we're
mark.
not-
It's freaking funny.
Yay, we're not as special.
Well, yeah, this is Chris the Grey we're talking about. Of course he's going to do that to us and them.
I mean,
Yeah.
are we still convinced that Chris specifically had something to do with this? Because
Yes.
unless it's like a future Chris. And it might be a
Could
future
be.
Chris if we're getting like future god shenanigans, because that Chris that we met had no freaking idea who the hell we were.
Correct. Is it his maybe evil doppelganger? Or is
I
it a
think it's-
future Chris?
or it's Chris's player character in the realms, which does bring up the question of, how do we know that we're not the PCs as opposed
do
to
we-
the players?
Hmm.
Look, I don't want to get into that kind of
Yeah,
existential
I mean,
shit right now. I don't need that headache.
Well, it could make a difference for when we determine whether going home is an option. If we're not the original, anyway.
Yeah, I don't need that, man. Like,
Well, you want to stay anyway, so I don't see it being an issue for
right,
you.
but I don't want to sit here and like wonder if I'm the original or a copy. Like that's
Well, the fact that even if we are copies, that doesn't mean we aren't real. It just
right.
But
God,
yeah,
are we? No, not doing
But
that.
see, like I would be more, because I mean, you can let your copy like do what she wants in the real world. I'm the one who wants to go back. So like if somebody's already there, like I'm boned. So
right. So it
Yeah.
makes a big difference for
Um,
Rhiannon whether or not
Right.
she's a copy.
Unless
Or-
you want a really compatible roommate.
I think it would be one of those things where you're too much the same. So it would be the
Yeah.
Calvin duplicator,
Yeah,
where nobody
I
would
would
do any of the
love
things that you don't like
this.
doing.
like
One,
Yeah, like
one
the
can
fact
go to
that-
work and one can write, and we can take turns.
That's right. Oh, think about how much progress you could make.
Yeah, but who has to work and who has to write?
Well, you take turns.
Oh, I see. Okay. Fair.
What if you could
next thing you know,
duplicate
you get a
yourself
chore wheel
more
with
times?
yourself.
Anyway, I think that like
Mhm.
this conversation feels like it has reached a
Mhm.
point of less useful as far as hypotheticals, so I'm going to drop out.
Okay, we're finally done with our silence.
Yeah, I think
So-
we're done. I think we're done
so
here.
I can eat, and I'm gonna motion now Ferris over,
Mhm.
and like have this sort of like one-sided conversation with him as far as like, you know, I wonder which.
He'll finish a bit of cheese he started
Mhm.
because he doesn't like being beckoned until
Oh,
he's
okay.
ready. But when he's done, he'll saunter back over.
Okay. Well, so is he amenable to being petted?
Yeah, he's always
Okay.
amenable to being pet.
So I'm gonna do this like half nonsense conversation in my to fool the passenger that I have, and sort of talk about like, so animals, like, are there particular gods that they're connected to? And I mean, I guess maybe Mistra would like have familiars, but like what kind of animals would Salune have? And like watch him when I say Salune.
He'll nestle or he'll nuzzle your hand as you're saying these various things. He's not. Roll a 20-sided die.
But 1 moment.
I will read ferret body language.
Yeah, you're right.
Not at all, apparently. That's a 20.
Okay. Yeah, you're on your own with that one. Nothing that you can really spot.
What about other people? Like, is somebody like, would somebody else be watching Ferris? Or
Well, if I can tell what you're doing, then I would absolutely be watching for the ferret's reaction, because I still think that guy's shifty.
I'm busy having an existential crisis over here. Don't mind me.
I know, right? You're busy. Eric is looming in.
I'm trying to play it cool, but I'm definitely watching for a reaction from the ferret.
You, Joel,
Look.
can roll a 20-sided die. Eric cannot.
That's
The ferret will turn its back on Eric. Eric, so
that's a
Eric cannot.
17.
Okay. Sadly, on your own.
I just loom in close and I look at the ferret and I go, Shipley?
The ferret does not reply in a way that suggests that it either understands or cares about what you have just said about it. But that could be what Shipley would do in a situation like this.
It is possible.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? So if you gleaned all you can glean, Rhiannon.
I think
Brian?
Okay. Definitely
It's
no
fine.
response to that. So Rhiannon, did you have another topic for discussion? One that didn't require hand holding?
So. Yeah, I have my jeans, so I have pockets. I'm gonna pull the de-winged message out of my pocket. So I don't remember if I talked about that Tormil invited us to come meet up with him, but he sent a dinner invitation, so I'm gonna go. I'm
Right.
presuming people are gonna say like, you shouldn't go alone, but I don't know that necessarily everybody has to come if there's other things you need to do.
Is the invitation for us, or is the invitation for you?
It's
I mean,
us.
if it's just for you, get on with your bad self.
Yeah? Rhiannon, you were a firestorm of destructive power. You don't need us to protect you.
Like, really, seriously.
I told him it, like, when I was talking to him, said the party, and I think the wording DM was okay. Yeah.
It's he's especially glad to see you, but it is an invitation for everyone.
But I mean, if you would like any of us to come with you, I'm sure we could do that.
I could go to a party. Or dinner.
Yeah,
whatever this is.
come get food.
Does
Like-
it say kids welcome or kids not allowed?
We're not taking Gedra.
Okay.
What's the dress code?
I mean, I guess that's a good question. You'll note that Arton has drifted into the room and is tidying up your now mostly finished breakfast while you're having this conversation. Speaking of dress codes.
Hmm.
I mean, we were already
There's-
talking about getting clothes. So
Oh, God. Shopping montage.
shopping montage.
Hey, there you
Actually,
go.
he might be able to help with this. Could he perhaps take a look at the invitation and tell us, based on local customs, what the dress code would be based on the invitation?
Hmm.
I mean, you could
Good
ask
idea.
them.
Yeah, good idea. We do.
Yes, I do that. Please.
Okay. Did you snatch it from Rhiannon, or is Rhiannon handing it to him?
I'll hand
I
it
am
over.
suggesting this.
Okay.
So I'm definitely
right.
not snatching it.
He'll do that.
Hmm.
You will notice that he will notice that it is jasmine scented, because if you recall from our last discussion, it is jasmine scented. And he'll say, "Fine paper. Ah, Tormil Gost. What is it that you wish to know?"
The
Well,
I
okay.
mean-
So, are you familiar with him by reputation? We met him
I know
briefly,
a
but we don't know much
I
about
know a
him.
bit about the Gost family and a little bit about Tormil. I could tell
Okay.
you what I know if you'd like.
That would be much appreciated. But what we were looking for is, based on this invitation, how would you dress? We are not familiar with local sartorial customs.
How would
and
I dress?
I met him in a casual adventuring situation.
This
Which
is not a casual adventuring
No.
situation, my lady.
I had gleaned that much.
I don't believe it requires a formal gown, but I wouldn't dress as adventurers on the street. You gave this fellow your name, Joel, right? Because I think I put you on the spot and made you give him your name.
Yeah. Yes, he demanded it actually. So
Then he'll say, Joel, I, as a servant, would not typically attend this sort of an event. It appears to be of a more intimate nature than a grand revel of some kind or another. So how I dress would be somewhat irrelevant, but I would say not the way you are dressed now. There's tailors coming to the house. I could arrange to make sure that you're properly dressed.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm actually
Excellent.
I'm actually kind of excited. Like I'm like, this is.
So what is it you'd like to know about the Gosts? Anything I've just got generally?
Yes, are their reputation, anything particular that they are involved in terms of government or trade, or where does their money come from?
The Gost, and he sort of launches into a you pushed a button on his back, and now he's going to give you a lecture about the Gosts, right?
Uh-oh.
You triggered his special interest.
Yeah, right, there we go.
Got to go in prepared to this sort of thing.
The Gost family is one of Waterdeep's oldest noble lines. Their wealth comes from a diverse array of business interests, from shipping to investments to local enterprises. Things like caravan mastering, general trading, and armor smithing. The family villa, located also here in Northward, is quite lovely. The Gosts are well-known worshippers of Lathander, and also major contributors to the Church of Siamorphe. They're known for their charitable contributions to the city, funding various public works, and maintaining a reputation of civic responsibility. Although they're respected among the other noble families of Waterdeep, they're not always trusted, being a bit more secretive in their dealings. The head of the family, presently Juris Gost, leads them with a steady hand. Tormil, who you are acquainted with, is one of the lesser-known members of the family, noted mainly for his academic pursuits and magical studies, and most notably, he'll say that with a little bit of a chuckle, for his membership in the Deep Delvers Adventuring Company. There are always rumors, Joel, circulating about noble families, and the Gosts are no exception. While they're generally well-regarded, some speculate about their connections to underground dealings and political machinations, though nothing has ever been proven. The family's past is darker than their present, with tales of illegal get-rich-quick schemes and unsavory alliances, but the same could be said of most noble families here in the city. In recent times, the family's kept a lower profile in public affairs, mostly attending to private matters, yet their influence remains strong, with connections spanning various aspects of the city's society, including other noble families, the merchant guilds, and even some of the city's less reputable elements, such as yourselves.
I see.
Thanks.
Now I believe that Tormil is a member of the Watchful Order. Do I remember that correctly?
If he is a wizard of some note, and he is a wizard of some note, then yes, it would not at all be strange for him to be a member of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors.
Is the Watchful Order considered well respected in the city?
Oh, very much so, yes. They're officially allied with the City Watch. They provide magical support for both the Watch and the Guard. And Lady Laryl and Lord Blackstaff are notable members.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, no reason not to go.
Quite.
It sounds like it'll be fun.
Bit all over the map in terms of sure.
Well, I'm in. I mean, after we've spent so much time running from place to place, consistently in danger, the fact that we're taking some time to relax and enjoy ourselves, I like this. I like this. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
The only person I haven't heard an affirmative from is Randy. He's double thumbs up.
Randy has never turned down a good party.
Okay,
Off
fair enough.
mute so that we can hear the thumbs up. That's good.
I'm just happily going along with whatever.
Go with the flow. Okay.
Although
fair
for dealing
enough.
with tailors, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to take a nap.
Speaking of which, they're here, so you don't.
Great.
So I did describe this as a shopping montage.
Yes.
So what I'd like to do with this is just simply say, you summoned people to acquire sort of like three things for you, right? Clothing, an armor worker, because someone had something, Joel, to do with armor that you needed done, and Rhiannon, you wanted a bag fit for a ferret.
Yes.
Those are the three things that you were looking for.
So is this like a shoulder bag or a shoulder saddle or like?
I've got
For the
two
ferret?
basic choices for you.
Okay.
You can go with rucksack / backpack, and that's really shoulder or back, with a small compartment that the ferret could ride along in and poke its head out of, or a papoose style front-loaded style backpack, where it's kind of like a little baby carry thing for the ferret.
Oh God. Just
I,
having Mirabelle
I have
flashbacks.
some dignity. I suspect Ferris has dignity.
I suspect he thinks he does too.
That's why you don't want a little ferret dangling.
So I'm going for the because I mean he's trying to ride on my shoulder. He wants to see where we're going. I'm thinking like poking his head up out of a backpack gives him more of the same view anyway. So like
so
before
bag.
Yes, before I
Okay.
buy it, I will beckon and then wait for him to come over and like sit in it to because there's no point buying it and then he's like turning up his
Sure.
nose.
Determine if it fits his relevant comfort requirements. Okay, well, as it turns out, this is a lovely nut brown, soft leather, brass strapped backpack, which is really quite, nice. And yes, that'll do nicely for him.
Okay, excellent.
Okay,
Check.
it is a bit pricey at 12 gold.
Don't we have like 500 gold or something you were
You
saying?
We do.
You have
Still
a
enough.
total budget of about 500 gold.
But that is still an outrageous amount of money for a backpack. I mean, remember
Oh,
that.
I don't know prices.
It's
very
not
well.
Turn
our-
around and go,
wage-
oh, I just bought this $500 brooch. Is that a problem?
Brooch.
Brooch.
It's not really our money. I think it's okay.
Some of it is, my friend. Some of it is.
Well,
your
some
money.
of it, but
If
not.
we could-
I
I
mean, a
mean-
lot of it is Laryl's money. So
Is there a
That's
cheaper option?
Why would you want to do that? Ferris seems happy with it. Why are we now going to go down scale? Why is that?
I mean, you're talking to a thrift shopper, but like,
Yes.
I want a backpack. I don't want to montage too long. I'm gonna get
Fair enough.
expensive backpack.
that's fine.
Okay. You
Don't worry about
You made her feel guilty about her purchase, Joel. You made her feel guilty.
It's like 3 months' wages for a bag.
What- and they
Joel,
don't
my
have those-
friend,
and they don't have those
feudalism.
here on
Just remember that. Feudalism.
Eric, and they don't
And these are the
they
kind of
don't have
tailors that are
bags
making house
worth 3
calls to
months'
the-
wages here on Earth.
They do, but
Okay.
like they're like alpine climbing backpacks.
Okay, I don't think
Or-
they are,
yeah.
buddy. I think
Or-
they're like Fendi and Gucci.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
you know what?
yeah.
That is a good point.
yeah.
Yeah,
Does it say like Aurora on it or
It does
like
not. This is handcrafted, one off. There is no other backpack precisely like this backpack anywhere in the multiverse,
I'm
Eric.
gonna go to the party and one other person is gonna have the same backpack. Anyway, you know what?
Well, you know,
All
they'll
right.
have a ferret too, so you'll be all set. Okay.
Yeah. Let's move
So
on.
We've spent 12 gold on that.
Yep.
You sent me, Joel, some stuff in
Yep.
between
Yeah,
sessions that you were
I
looking for armor.
disappear into the corner with the armor for a bit to talk about some modifications to my outfit.
You can get all that done for, wait for it, 38 gold pieces, because that'll round us up to 50.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
It's fine for armor.
Yeah, right. That's 3 times what you spent for a backpack.
Look, the backpack only protects your shoulder. Armor protects theoretically your whole body.
I know.
Okay. So your armorer will get to work on your things that you need them to get to work on.
Excellent.
They'll be ready by the morning, so you won't be taking them
Okay.
to dinner. Okay. All right. So and then that leaves just clothing for all of you.
Mhm.
If you
Yep.
leave it to Arton and the craftsman, what you're gonna get is basically upper crust noble, or not noble, upper crust merchant level, not plain colored. So you're gonna get some color to the things you're gonna wear, and I'd ask you to each select a color scheme.
My
And you'll get
colors,
things in that
my
color
clothes are
scheme.
already a little crusty because I've been wearing them too long. I don't know if I'm...
There you go. I don't know. You don't want an upper crust. You want some lower crust. Okay.
That's-
Well,
So
No.
you'll get color schemed oriented stuff that a well-to-do merchant would be glad to wear to a dinner party. And again, I would encourage everyone, viewers alike, to go check out Ed Greenwood's YouTube channel or his Patreon if you are not already a member of his Patreon, as he just published a fantastic video / thing on his Patreon about what dress for men and women was common in the High Times, which is this period of time from the 1370s through to the Spell Plague. So
Asterisk to that statement. Just published, as in he published it back in September.
months ago.
Whenever
Months
this
ago.
actually
But
shows.
For us,
Yeah.
but for us, it's fresh.
Yeah.
But if you go
So
to the
if
YouTube
you're
channel,
having
you can
trouble
find it.
finding it, that's
yeah, this
that's
might not
from
be
when it
this
was.
might not be broadcasting until like January 2025.
Who can
Holy-
say?
Anyway.
The YouTube channel is
Anyway.
very easy to search, so you should be
Definitely.
able to find it without too much trouble. So suffice it to say, because we're montaging here, that like I said, you're going to get nice clothing. Now, the women, are you looking to dress in dresses, or are you looking to dress in something else?
I'll go with a dress. I don't currently have one, so that would be nice. I did note that I wanted to get some like more nicely made but more casual kind of like breeches and a blouse kind of thing as well. But
You can also secure that here.
yeah.
So Rhiannon,
Yeah, a dress, as long as it's not long. So sort of ankle length is good for being able to have
Okay.
good range of
you
movement.
you don't want it to have a train, but
Correct,
that is considered to be a long dress.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So dresses, and for the gentlemen, breeches,
Guess
coat,
who's getting
uh,
doublets?
doublets, that sort of thing. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
we're
right.
going with what the style is?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
All right. So getting at this level, purchasing at this level, is going to cost you about 15 gold pieces per person for the stuff that you're getting. If you want them to be made of particularly nice materials and particularly fine craftsmanship, we're not noble level yet, but we're taking a step up from just, I pulled it off out of my closet. It is 10 times that amount. So it would be 300 for Rhiannon and Allie together. But if you take 350, that still leaves enough money for
Look, if we-
Joel and Eric and Randy to each get 15 gold pieces worth of stuff and then have money left over.
Don't we want to show off our charismatic members?
I
feel like we do.
I don't want 150 gold dress because that's asking to get red wine on it.
Or in your case, fire wine.
You know what?
Or stabbed,
Sorry, that was terrible.
Well, okay.
I'm like a
I'll
dad
say
to
it.
Gedrin, so I got to do dad jokes. Anyway,
Oh, I
I'll say
see. Is
this.
that why?
no,
I'll
that's
say
not
this.
why.
I'm down to get the expensive one.
Of course.
This
But if the
surprising
party
no.
vetoes me,
No,
if the party vetoes me, I'm okay with that.
I fully support this.
No, I mean you're going to be living here, so you can keep it and use it
Okay.
later.
Right?
That's true.
I'm
All
just gonna
right.
throw. I'm just gonna throw this in a pile and burn it later. So why spend money on it?
No, I'm leaving. So
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I will
then
get. I
take it-
will get the
take it with
expensive
you.
stuff. I'll get the expensive stuff.
All right. So the other than answering the question about colors, the sole remaining question for the ladies is sexy or not.
Yes.
Okay. Sexy and expensive. Got it. Okay. Maybe that'll be the title of this episode. And Rhiannon, how about you?
I mean,
A little less so.
It doesn't have to be risque to be sexy.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say split the difference, and feminine fashion, like walking this line, is very difficult,
But
even
you're
in
not
the
gonna
real
look like-
world. But
You're not going to look like Queen Elizabeth, where you've got this big thing around
No.
your neck. And
No.
okay, got it. All right.
So like
Flattering.
flattering.
flattering
Yes.
of feminine like attributes is what I'm
Yeah.
going for.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
You have professional tailors here. There's actually 3 of them, and they're all working together on these projects. And they're going to have to sew through like the afternoon to have this stuff ready for you, because you're just basically they're cutting the fabric and sewing it. So they're going to have teams working on this. That's that month's wages we were talking about, Eric. So colors. That's all I need at this point. Allie?
Initially I was thinking like to lean into the color scheme I've been going for thus far with the black and red, but honestly I'm thinking maybe red for the dress with some like kind of like silver colored accents, if that's
Okay.
a thing.
You looking for
Yeah.
a bright red or like a dark red?
Like a crimson.
Okay, so dark red. Very,
Mhm.
very, very gothic. Very gothic.
Like a crimson vampire queen red.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
Whatever, fits into
Excellent.
that category. Okay, so that's you.
One of my
Randy?
favorite colors.
No, it's great. I'm just trying to make
too,
sure I
me
picture
too.
it properly.
All right.
That's all.
I mean, I have my velvety stuff outfit, but like stuff to go underneath it. Shirt under clothing, socks. Socks are very important.
Socks are very
Green
important.
socks are
I agree with you.
important.
So if you're saying I have this, and if you could just wash it for me, aces. And in the meanwhile, perhaps if we could go like silk shirt underneath it, class it up a little.
Sure. If they have anything
Okay.
that has, harps, stitched into it or anything like that, cool.
Let me throw some dice on that one, Randy, because it's up to the gods as to whether they have that available. The answer to your question is yes, they do.
Excellent.
Yeah, because you're not getting embroidery like custom done on that time frame.
Nope, you're not.
No.
They made something that was originally designed for a priest of Ogma
Mhm.
and a priest of Malili, and so they can slam something together that'll work for your purposes. Okay,
Excellent.
so I'm going to go with sort of white to match your red then.
Yeah, perfect.
Got you. You're all writing this down because the DM is never going to remember it. Joel?
We'll go something in this shade of blue and silver, if we can do that.
Blue and silver. So it's sort of the colors of Waterdeep.
Did not know that.
Yes.
but okay,
You
cool.
being in Waterdeep, blue and silver is an easy combo.
Look
Okay.
like a patriot. Sure.
Okay? You're in red, white, and blue.
No,
Um,
a Waterdeep patriot.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking with you. But
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. Eric?
Black steel accents.
Okay. Understated. Got it. Check. And finally, Rhiannon.
Well, I got different coloration, some stuff to deal with here, but
That's right.
generally my skin tone is better with saturated jewel tones, not doing red. I'm thinking going sort of a emerald or maybe peacock kind of green or blue
Ooh.
kind
I will
of thing.
remind you that the colors of House Gost are an emerald green with yellow. So I don't know if you're going to House Gost and looking to impress one of the people who was a member of it. Picking the house colors might get their attention.
Yeah, how much do you like this guy? Like,
Or it might seem really presumptuous for a first
Yeah,
dinner.
I was gonna
That's
say
true,
like
that's true.
it's a bit gauche.
what about
may-
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
It's like going to a
Maybe-
concert and wearing the band's.
Go a bit more say a royal purple kind of blue
Ooh,
type of
Yeah.
Okay.
rather than the green.
Also a lovely shade. Although I don't know, you've got green, really bright green eyes, and really bright red hair these days. So
Well,
emerald
I mean,
fits
you can match it with some jewelry as well, right? Yeah.
I'm not worrying about jewelry. I mean, so I guess purple would be safer because I don't want to clash with. I was forgetting the eyes.
Okay. All right. So a fine rich purple then, royal purple then. Okay, fair enough.
Will
You're
the
in one of the places.
dresses. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will the dresses? I'm assuming we'll be getting like flattering shoes to go with them.
Mhm.
Because like clomping around in my adventuring boots is not going to go
You're getting
well.
you're getting the whole little outfit here.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. All right. So I have a sense of what you're doing. All of those various people that you have engaged will go about their business working frantically to accomplish the goals that you've all set them to.
And
You're like
because
nobles
this is
yourself.
because this is Waterdeep, is it possible to get space for a couple of concealed daggers inside the outfit?
Yes.
I would assume that
Although
this is okay.
Keep it. Stilettos are smaller. Knives smaller still. Do you want space for concealed daggers, knives, or stilettos?
Well, I'm only proficient in daggers, so I guess daggers it is.
Dagger counts for proficiency purposes as anything in that bladedly. Knife isn't a separate proficiency.
Oh, it is not. Okay. In that case, let's go with something a little shorter then. Something maybe
Okay.
along the forearm instead of along the thigh.
Gotcha. All right, a nice murdering weapon. Check.
Self-defense.
Whatever,
Yeah.
you're the potato.
Oh, Amara is 1,000% strapping that stiletto she got
Huh?
to her thigh under the dress.
I was gonna say you got the sheath for it and everything. You're ready to rock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So you'll do that. And on that, we will take our first break.
Okay, don't go away. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Greetings. You have returned from break and you're still with us. Delightful. Okay. So we left off with you completing your shopping montage. You now have the rest of the day because the note basically suggested 8-ish p.m. in terms of like when you're going to come to dinner. And the location is maybe 30 minutes away, but you're going to take a carriage. So maybe more like 20 minutes away. And so you have some time. Some of you are exhausted and really probably need to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the people who didn't get a lot last night. So Allie and Randy are probably going to conk out for a bit, right?
Yeah, I'm
That
gonna
sounds
take.
fair, Randy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm asleep.
Actually, before Randy goes upstairs, I would actually like to have a quick conversation with him. Ideally, we're
Do that in just 1 second. Let me recap this, and then you can have that conversation. So I know what the two of them are doing. Joel and Rhiannon, you got a little bit of a nap, involuntary or not. And so you can just spend the afternoon doing, whatever it is you're going to do that isn't going to take up time on the stream before dinner arrives. Anything in particular that you have in mind to spend that time doing, Joel and Rhiannon?
I would like to spend some time digging through the recent hit. If there's anything in the library about the Gosts, I would actually like to read up on them, or just the general state of politics in Waterdeep. If there's anything that I can find that is relevant.
Not a damn thing about the Goths.
All right.
But 96. But recent state of affairs in Waterdeep, there's all kinds of broadsheets around. So, I mean, you could kind of try to paw your way through those.
Catching up on the news then.
You want to take daggers and stab them into the wall with string, or are you not looking to do that?
I have this in world, so I don't need
Yeah.
that.
Okay, you're ready to go.
Don't perpetrate that upon medieval paneling.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll do that. And Rhiannon, how about you? Anything special that you have planned for your afternoon?
Poke around the house, spam some cantrips, sort of
Okay.
just to play around with them, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Anything in particular you're poking around for? Or you just, I want to know what this house is laid out like. And if I had to magically transport myself from one place to another, I'd have a mental image of what's on the 4th floor.
Architectural details.
Ah, okay. You're like,
Yeah.
This place is pretty nice. And it's sturdily constructed. You think it could last hundreds of years. So that will be your takeaway.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Eric, I have something for you. Because Gedron's not sleepy because he slept because one thing 5-year-olds are reliable on, it's napping.
Mhm.
So I assume you will at least spend some time with him over the course of the day.
Yes. We are learning sword fighting. I'm teaching him how to fight with a 2-handed sword, which is to say a short sword for him.
Okay, we'll get to that then, because I have something that might be relevant. Okay.
Excellent.
And then last we had that conversation you wanted to have, Joel, before Randy went to the land of dreams.
Oh, yes. So I pull Randy aside and I say that I would like to. It seems like your mark makes much better use of gems than mine does.
Yeah.
I have gotten extremely restricted use out of mine. A resurrection that can only be done on holy ground of a specific god, just not. So I'd like to go ahead and pass a couple of gems over to you and top you off. I feel like you'll probably make better use of them than I will. So is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
So when Rhiannon and I did this, it seemed like the gems flowed pretty easily. So we'll
okay.
all right. So if you're all right, we'll
Yeah.
all right. We'll
Let's do it. I know
How many
my
do you
frack.
have,
Who's fast-
Joel?
best bud?
Stop el diende.
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it.
I am tracking that I have 2.
Okay. And so you're looking to give up.
I'm actually looking to give up 2.
You
Okay.
saw what happened when Eric had no stars or gems. Right?
I did.
Okay. Cool. Okay. And so, Randy, you are down at least 2.
I think
So
at least,
you're-
yes.
You're going to take whatever Joel's willing to give you because he's not going to discuss it with you in advance.
I'll take whatever you're willing to give me, Joe.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So you will join hands. You'll do it in the same way that you did it with Rhiannon, Joel, because that worked rather easily. And so you'll just say, okay, this is what I did with Rhiannon. And the 2 of you will do that. If you can both roll a 20-sided die for me, just have to make sure nothing weird happens.
9.
I got a 10.
Not only does nothing weird happen, this is over in an eye blink.
We're getting practiced at it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're feeling pretty good about that, Randy. How about
Yeah. Feeling truly outrageous.
that? Ba-da-boom. Joel, you
Some
trying
of you
to
will be
track?
old enough to get that joke. Okay.
You trying to track? You're right. You trying to track anything there, Joel, or just okay? That happened.
No, just
Okay.
I am.
All right.
Are you
Okay.
gonna check to see if you're cut off from communication now?
Not. I am going to. No, actually, I am not.
Okay. Fair enough. So, all right. So that's that. So that just leaves Eric and I chatting. So Eric,
Yeah, it's me.
before you get around to the sword play, you spent the night reading, so you are a little tired. So you'll probably retreat to I don't know, like the den or something like that, because it's this lovely den. To just sort of like Gedron doesn't want to leave you alone, but like you can sit in a nice armchair with a cat in your lap, and while he does stuff for a few, and maybe catch a little dad nap, like get a little dad nap in.
I'm going to have
there.
him work on basic dexterity exercises.
Okay.
Standing squats, one-legged stances, things like that.
So you're going to show him what these are, and you're going to say, "Do this."
Correct. And then I'm
He's-
going to be like, I will wait while you do this for a time. I will not specify the time.
All right. So he'll be mildly confused, but he lives to serve you. So off he
You're gonna-
goes to do it.
You're gonna wake up and he's gonna be gone.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. So you'll
He's
nod
fine.
off. You'll nod off in your chair. He's doing whatever he was doing, right? And when you come to, right,
Mhm.
you're probably in like a sunbeam or something like that.
Uh,
Because there's these comfortable couches and plush armchairs, and you're seated in one of those armchairs with the cat Nix curled up in your lap, and you'll sort of wake up from your little nap, and you'll note that he's kneeling down on the ground in front of you and the cat, and he's playing with a bit of string and the cat, and you'll just sort of come to in the natural course of business, right? And when he notices that you're awake, because probably he's been waiting for that to happen but didn't want to do it himself.
what a good kid.
You're right. You'll notice that he'll as soon as he sees that you're conscious, he kind of looks up at you. He's got sort of an expectant look on his face, like he has something of import that he wants to talk to you about.
What is it, boy?
Papa, he begins sort of like quietly, like he's thinking, right? Yesterday, Joel told me something at the promenade.
Okay.
He's sighing. He's clearly trying to figure out the best way to say this, but then he's just out with it. He said, I don't have to be Shadowbane if I don't want to. But I thought it was my job to become him. You're Shadowbane now, and I'm supposed to be him when you can't be him anymore, right, Papa? That's what you'd want, for me to be Shadowbane when I grow up. That would make you proud of me.
One second.
No pressure.
I'm just over here judging you, so you know, Eric.
You're
Toy with
sitting
this
there-
child's
you're
life
sitting
there.
there thinking
Yeah.
about it. I can see you thinking about it, Eric. And while you're thinking about it, you're thinking about, that solemn vow you made to Helm and those things you said to the last king of Westgate about destiny. And the moment you took up Vindicator, knowing that part of your duty as Helm's champion was to prepare Gedrin for the mantle of Shadowbane. That weight of responsibility, it's pressing down on you in this moment.
Oh, good. Alignment challenge. Lad,
Yes, Papa.
here's the answer. My duty is to train you, to give you all the skills that you could possibly need for this role. But it is upon you to accept it. If you do not wish to have this role, you do not need to accept it. It is not my place to force it upon you. It is your place to choose. If you do not choose it, then you cannot truly be dedicated to it. And you must be dedicated to it in order to do it successfully.
Okay. He's
I will
looking
not
up at you,
withhold
right?
I will not withhold my pride or approval of you based on your choice. I will feel the same about you regardless.
He's looking up at you, as I said, and he's trying to digest what you've told him. This is weighty stuff for a 5-year-old.
Mhm.
And you can tell, you can kind of see, right, that he's a little skeptical when you made that statement about, like, I'll be proud no matter what you do. You can be successful in life or you can be a total failure and your dad will still love you. He's sort of like, grappling with, well, is this true? And he'll say, I want to make you proud, Papa, more than anything. And he kind of looks down a little bit. He's got that little haunted look that he gets from time to time when he talks about this topic. When Mama and my sister, when I couldn't save them, I knew I had failed them when they needed someone to save them from the monsters. And now he's got little tears in his eyes. I don't ever want to feel like that again. If being Shadowbane is what I have to do to make sure I never fail again, then I'll do it. I'll be strong like you. I'll protect people, and I will never let anyone hurt the ones I love.
All right. But I need you to know something, and I need you to listen to me very carefully.
He's nodding up at you.
You got that, boy? Are you listening to me very carefully?
I am listening, Papa.
It was not your fault that your mother or sister perished. Terrible things happen to people in this world. All worlds, but especially this world. You did not fail them. But if you wish to protect others in their name, I will not stop you, and I will be proud of you.
His face, as you're giving him that speech, goes through a transformation between sadness, where he's crying openly, and like pride, like he's unlocked with your help the solution to the conundrum that he was grappling with about how to make his failure over their deaths worth it. And you've just told him the way. And so now he sees it clear in front of him, and you kind of know what that means on his face. So that conversation just happened. The cat will paw at your leg to get your attention, since you've stopped petting it as you were paying attention to the boy.
I'll keep petting the cat.
Okay, fair enough. He'll get up, wiping the tears off his face, and look for some activity to do, because he's feeling a little uncomfortable with his feelings in the moment.
Now take this short sword and swing it 200 times.
Literally, short sword, like 3 pounds, like 5 years old. So it's like a two-handed sword to him, and he's trying to maneuver it around, right? But it's like throwing him off balance, and he'll say something after about 5 minutes of attempting to grapple with this that just sort of like occurred to him, right? Like he's doing that, he's doing his best to succeed at it, but then he had a thought, and so he's back around to you. Papa, Joel told something else to me.
Joel often does, doesn't he?
You're like, I'm gonna have words with that guy.
What now, boy?
He said I might be able to summon your sword, Vindicator. Is that true? Could I really do that?
Possibly.
But it's so big, isn't it? I'm not sure I could even lift it. Should I try that?
You will grow taller and you will grow stronger, and it will not be too big for you.
Okay, he seems extremely proud that you've said that to him, confirming that that he is meant to wield the blade.
I counted 30 swings. I want 170 more.
All right, so chipped up furniture and 170 swings later, you dodged successfully the question of, should he attempt that now? Because that's kind of what he was asking you. And inherent in that question is if he does it, does that change something forever? You know, has he made a choice by doing it even once? Or if he does it ahead of when he's supposed to do it, does that, you dodged the question.
I
do
think
you
if
want to revisit it, or do you want to let it lie because you
I want
made
to let it lie for now, because I
Okay.
feel I know what you're saying, and I feel the
Yep.
same way. Like if
Yep.
he picked it up now, that would be him making that decision, and he is a 5-year-old child. His brain
Yep.
is not developed enough to make this lifelong decision.
Yep. All right. Well, good parenting, Eric. You managed to get through that experience.
Also, did I manage to steal a mannequin from the dressmakers? Because that is an excellent practice target.
You could manage to buy a mannequin. You have plenty of money in your reservoir.
Fine.
Okay. Paladins don't steal mannequins, Eric. I'm pretty sure.
We're still in an edition where
yeah.
paladins must be lawful good, aren't we?
It's not.
Anyway,
It's not in the Paladin's handbook per se, but I'm pretty sure it's in one of the codicils.
well, maybe they left a mannequin here.
Yeah,
Who
I
can
don't-
say?
I
Anyway,
mean,
it's
If
fine. I'll
adven-
purchase
if
a mannequin.
adventurers stay here regularly, there might be some targets, some practice dummies somewhere in the house.
Yeah. Is there like a courtyard with practice dummies and
The place that practice dummies would be located, based on this die roll, would be that attic that we talked about before. And the person who would know if they were there would be Joel. 32 says there is a practice dummy in the attic.
Did Joel tell you where you could find a practice dummy? He seems to tell you a lot.
Joel?
It may have been mentioned.
Okay, I'm going to go with yes, he's chatting. Okay.
All right, you've
Got
swung
some
that
cool stuff
sword.
up there.
You've swung that sword 50 times. Now let's go find a practice dummy.
All right, Papa. So that is how you will consume that, and the nap that he takes is how you will consume the remainder of your afternoon. All right, we're getting ready for dinner now. Anybody have anything special about getting ready for dinner that you want me to know about?
I mean, given her night out, I think Amara does take some time to like wash up and actually like
A good call. A good call.
freshen
Yes,
up,
yes.
and then we'll get ready.
Fix her makeup.
Yeah. Yes. Your sleep, both yours and Randy's, completely undisturbed. So that's a surprise for you. That's the first time you've actually slept without getting a visit from your friend. Maybe time of day factored into that.
Even a 5-year-old child in the attic going, "Ah," doesn't disturb your sleep.
Did I ever learn how to reverie? I don't think I did.
You have not yet learned how to reverie. Give it time. Give it time. Okay. So back to prepping for whatchamabob. So bathing, that's the thing you want me to know. And wear the dress and conceal the weapon. Those are the things you want me to know. Okay. Randy, anything
Makeup,
special I
all
need to
that.
know? Yep.
No.
Okay.
I'll conceal whatever I can conceal, but
Maces are notoriously difficult to conceal.
yeah. I'll limp. No, I
up a jacket sleeve.
yeah.
The
No,
puffiest sleeves.
Yeah. No, the throwing blades that I had and whatever else. But
I mean,
you
you have
know,
plenty of weapons to choose from.
to quote Rambo, the greatest weapon is your mind.
Is
That's
that
right.
Rambo Part 1 or Rambo Part 8 or like which of the
That's
Rambos?
2.
Oh, 2.
That's
Okay,
2.
Rambo 2. Now we're Ramboing. Rambo 2. Now we're Ramboing. Okay.
More Rambo. Yeah.
Yeah, more Rambo. Double the Rambo. All right, Joel, anything special you want me to know?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Eric, anything special you want me to know?
I just make sure Gedrin is well and truly exhausted.
Oh yeah, he is going to be out.
But his strength score is going to be higher when he is an adult.
Yeah. Babysitting him for the night's going to be smooth sailing.
Yep.
Okay. And finally, Rhiannon, anything special you want me to know?
So I want to have a quick conversation with Ferris.
Okie dokie. Those tend to be fairly one-sided, but let's give it a go. You know who hasn't said a damned thing to you all day?
Oh, interesting. That's right. Yeah.
Not a damn thing to you all day. Anyway, go ahead.
Huh. I feel like I might feel that out. So I'm
Please
gonna.
do.
I got my fingertips on my temple.
Yes, got it. Understood. Mine are there too.
So
Okay.
are there any dire warnings as far as the Gost that you feel you need to impart?
Dry chuckle. That you're used to the dry chuckle.
Okay.
Not that this matters over much to me, but are you looking to be with child?
No.
The devil is very direct.
Then that is the only warning I can give you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you're aware, and you should be aware that I'm aware because you're like
You know that I know that you know.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That there are other ways of having fun, and I am perfectly aware of them. So
Keep
just saying.
in mind, I'm pride, not lust. So really, that remark was said with a degree of derision. However,
Wow.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You sure you're not lust? Yeah.
Okay.
That
So-
we're sure.
Still there.
oh,
I'm
I'm
not saying
still
that to him,
here.
but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't still there.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that was you. Roll a 20-sided die.
Okay. One?
Oh,
Good.
how about that? You're very used to exchanges with this being, and have become used to it over time. So you can pick up on subtleties that, maybe a couple of days ago you might not have picked up on. It's annoyed. Something you're doing or something someone's doing is irritating it.
Yes.
And it's been quiet, probably because it's petulant.
Oh darn. Don't give me the silent treatment. Oh no.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Ferris, I'm gonna hop up on a table or something, look him in the eye. So I'm not gonna insult your intelligence and say please stay and guard the babies. But I do think it would be weird to go to a dinner party with my familiar, or I'm the familiar. Anyway, with the ferret on my shoulder. Are you amenable to staying behind?
He'll look up, and he'll look at you, and he's looking around the room again for something to. Oh, there he goes onto that thing that he used last time to write on the mirror.
Oh yeah.
And he will draw something in rouge on the mirror. It is a heart. And he looks at you quizzically. Are you picking up what he's putting down?
Oh my god.
Of all the people, jeez, telling a ferret. Okay. I've met him twice, 3 times. I've talked to him seriously a couple times.
He's nodding.
That does not equal anything, and I'm leaving. So deep emotions aren't involved. I'll say that. I've never been one to sort of fall into deep emotions inadvertently. So
roll a 20-sided die.
Okay. Is he looking dubious?
He's looking something. We'll see what he says in a moment.
This is
11.
Rhiannon, not Artemisia. Come on.
Okay. So he'll give you a look when you make that statement, deep emotions are not involved. That is almost judgmental. It's clear what he was drawing on the mirror was not in any way related to what your little friend was talking about, but rather he was seemingly asking a separate question. And he must have concluded that you were suggesting that, your heart was safe, but why should he be concerned about anything else? This ferret's approved.
That explains so much. Oh boy.
So are you going to stay behind, please?
He'll nod.
Okay, thank you. And I will rest easier knowing you're with the kids, the babies.
He'll nod and I'm sort of sure. Okie dokie. All right, so anything else you need me to know about your preparations for dinner?
I'm good.
Okay, fair enough.
I am going to have a quick chat with Zara and make sure that she understands that she is also watching Gedrin right now.
Now this time it's all 3 kids, right? Okay.
Just making sure we're clear.
Okay. We don't have to do that one in game. You can just be real clear. Hey, don't let Gedrin out of your sight. She'll make it very clear that his father was kind enough to make sure he was very unconscious. He wasn't even hungry. And so I'm going to try and let him sleep through the night. But
He will be when he wakes up.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep an eye on him. Don't worry.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so we're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll put on your outfits and you'll wait for the carriage. And out front, we'll roll up the carriage. The sun is now dipping below the horizon, right? Creating that warm golden glow, orange and red, over the streets of Waterdeep. And as it does, the fancy horse-drawn carriage summoned by Arton arrives at Trollskull Manor. This is several steps up from what you were riding around in earlier, Randy. This thing's deluxe. The carriage itself is a sight to behold, a symbol of opulence and sophistication that the city's nobility no doubt often enjoys. It's drawn by two magnificent horses, their coats gleaming like polished mahogany in the fading light. The horses are a matched pair, strong and regal, with dark velvety manes and tails that flow smoothly with their every movement. They're adorned with finely crafted leather harnesses, each piece of tack embossed with intricate silver scroll work that catches the last rays of the sun. They jingle softly with each step, the sound almost musical in the quiet of dusk. The carriage itself is a luxurious vehicle with a polished, lacquered exterior of deep ebony wood, accentuated with orange gold leaf detailing along the edges and the corners. The coach is large enough to seat 8 passengers comfortably, with a high roof and large arched windows filled with clear leaded glass that offers a view to those inside of the passing streets. The door of the carriage bears the crest of Waterdeep, elegantly painted in gold. This is probably a carriage from the palace. That's what this thing looks like.
Dang.
So somebody's got connection.
Jeez.
Atop the carriage sits a driver, a stern-looking man in his late 40s with a weathered face that, speaks of years of experience on the streets of Waterdeep. He's dressed impeccably in dark-tailored coat with polished brass buttons and gloves of soft leather, and he's gripping the reins with confidence. His posture is straight and formal, and he acknowledges you all with a nod as he and the horses pull to a stop in front of the house. He hops down. Clearly, he's going to open the door for you. What would you like to do?
I mean, let him. This
Yeah,
seems
let
like
him
fun.
go.
So,
I didn't know if you're like, let's interrogate this guy and find out blah, blah, blah. Or you're like, oh, we'll get in the carriage.
Yeah.
6 of one, half dozen.
Because that's
of
a
the
good
other.
impression. Interrogate.
I mean, I've seen you guys do.
Perhaps
weird
quickly confirm our destination to make sure that this is in fact our carriage.
Yes, good sirs. I am to take you to the Tormil Gost's house.
All right.
Near
Who
within
are
the North
you?
Wall.
Where do you come from?
Yeah. How many stars do you have on carriage.com?
This is a 5-star carriage. Good sirs.
Apparently.
Okay, so you'll pile in 5 people in an 8-person carriage, so it's roomy. The inside of this thing is even more sumptuous than the exterior. It's a world of comfort. The seats are upholstered in rich burgundy velvet, plush and inviting, with deep cushions that promise a smooth and restful journey. The walls are paneled in dark polished wood, with small scones holding candles that cast a soft, flickering light, creating this lovely, warm ambiance inside it. The ceiling of the carriage... Yes, those are my favorite too, as I'm eating blueberries. The ceiling of the carriage is lined with quilted fabric in a deep royal blue, adorned with tiny bits of gemstone, embroidered stars that twinkle in the candlelight, giving the impression of a night sky overhead. A small built-in cabinet at one side holds a crystal decanter and 8 glasses, offering passengers the option of enjoying a drink on their journey. The windows are draped with heavy velvet curtains, which can be drawn closed for privacy or left open to enjoy the view of the streets as you go. What is your preference?
Don't mind if I do. And I will go for the wine.
I believe they call this pre-gaming.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to drink, but I'm going to look out the window, open the curtains.
I'll start
Okay.
pouring people drinks.
Look, I'll start pouring people drinks. Let's
What-
get this going.
While this is going on, I am going to
Yes.
bring up a topic that we probably need to settle on before we get there.
Okay, go
What
ahead.
are we going to tell them about ourselves? Because as dinner guests, they're probably going to ask questions. Do we want to tell them we're from off? I mean, what's our story? Do we tell them we're from off-world?
I'm not going to tell them that.
I mean, okay, so what are we telling them?
Do we want to like go into the holding hands? Yeah, I mean, I know this isn't a conversation that seems like it would have information we want to keep, but you never know where conversations go. So
Fair.
I think Rhiannon is trying to suggest that maybe you want to keep this one on the DL from your various passengers. Is that a correct statement, Rhiannon? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, roll twice on a die, Rhiannon.
okay. 2.
Wow, you are on en fuego tonight. Dum-dum. As you're thinking that and you're like saying it out loud and blah, 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 you have a moment where you say to yourself, wait a minute, is that what I've done that's irritated my little friend? I'm clearly keeping conversations from him.
Ah, okay.
Maybe he's noticed I'm scheming. Okay.
This
You
one out
think
loud.
he'd be proud? Maybe that would be
Okay.
mine.
So Joel, I think, says, maybe we should have this one out loud.
Okay. Any particular
Alright.
reason?
Well, I think we could say that we are from a distant land.
I mean, I already talked to him. I
Did you say anything weird to him?
No. I believe I said it was the usual sort of like vague like traveling a long distance.
We're from somewhere else and we found
Yeah.
ourselves here and, weird things happen and we're adventurers and kind of Waterdeep seems nice was more
Yeah.
or less the content of that
Yeah,
conversation.
that's what I recall. So
I suggest we say that we are from a distant land. We are strangers in this place. We arrived by magic, and leave it vague like that. If they wish to speculate that we have been teleported here from another plane of existence, very well. We should feign ignorance. That's my suggestion.
okay, in paladin voice, no less.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
I just want to annoy your guest.
Joel, are you acting squirrely or just like avoiding neatly?
I don't think
Roll
I'm.
it.
I don't know.
Roll a 20-sided die, Rhiannon, and roll a 20-sided
Okay.
die, Joel. One of you is attempting to act and the other one is attempting to see through it.
15.
I think
I got a
You rolled a
15.
And what did you
yeah, I
roll?
got a 19, so I think
All right.
Joel is
It was bad numbers all around, but your number was worse, Rhiannon. No, he seems fine.
okay. Yeah,
He must just be suggesting that because he's looking for an out loud explanation, since that's what we're going to talk about out loud. Must be
okay. Must be it.
it. Nothing to see here.
Admittedly, that's fair. The fewer outright specifics we give, the less they can poke holes in whatever story we present.
And the
So,
fewer
we-
things we'll need to remember.
Or we could just tell them the truth that we're from off-world, and you come from the Emerald City, and
Right. I feel like that overcomplicates things, truthfully.
I mean, perhaps, but I don't know.
I would suggest relying upon hazy memories.
Yeah, we're not in a place where off-world is going to be like, oh, okay, and then no one digs deeper into that, because that is a strange thing here.
Yes,
I'm not
As opposed-
saying
as opposed to
Why?
people who refuse to talk about where they come from, or
Probably
Oh,
a
what
lot
do
more
you
common
do?
than people who are off-world.
I mean, we're gonna have a hard time with dinner conversation if we're
I'm sure we won't lack for topics to discuss.
okay. Keep them talking about themselves.
Well, if
People
anyone
love that.
asks, I'm going to keep telling people that I am a paladin of Helm, and would they like to hear more about Helm's face?
Would you like to
Advertising.
hear more? Okay.
And if
All right, so
if-
you're having this conversation as you're going, and so Rhiannon, you're catching less of the street scenes than you might have otherwise wanted
Sure.
to catch.
Yeah.
But you know that it's several blocks away, and it's to the south, and you're passing this walled-in area of town, but you're staying within what is probably northward because it's still nice, and you can still see guards around. You're catching that much of it. Anyway, go ahead. You were finishing the conversation before you arrive. Takes you about 20 minutes. Get door to door.
That was what we wanted to cover, wasn't it?
I'm
For the
I
most
see.
part, I honestly, I got cut off, but I forgot what I was saying. So
I wanted to ask
that.
Rhiannon a question though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said you have spoken with this man
Yeah.
and he has some interest in you.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything we need to know?
This is out loud. This is out loud, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you offering
There's
the
the-
wingman?
No,
there's
is there any-
there's the dry chuckle, and he has some interest in you. There's the dry chuckle.
Is there any specific thing that we need to know? Should we be? Should we act any particular way? This is your thing, Rhiannon. I just want to make sure we support you. Should I be talking up how clever and witty you are?
I mean, I'm beginning to regret inviting everybody along.
Well, that was inevitable.
But I mean, I don't know. Leave at the end of the night, and I'll see if I stay or not. Let's just
All right.
say that nothing
Fair
else
enough.
needs to be weird.
Play it cool and casual. Got it.
No wink wink.
I did not wink.
Nudge.
Yeah.
Helm's eyes are ever open.
No need for
Wow.
winking. Winking is not required.
Sorry.
really,
Okay.
If-
Yeah, you're alone. You're alone in this carriage. The five of you are alone in this carriage.
Okay.
Well, Helm's everywhere, but five.
I just didn't want to mess anything up for you, Rhiannon, and I will be on my best behavior. Promise.
Mm.
And there's that dry chuckle again.
the incredulity.
If there's something it can't seem to resist, it's making fun of Eric.
Look, I am lawful good. I don't lie. I'm going to be on my best behavior. Is that reassuring? Not necessarily.
Luckily, the rest of us aren't beholden to that particular restriction.
Correct.
Luckily.
Luckily,
All right. So you will arrive at your destination. Tormil Gost's row house stands on Zendel Street. It is a sturdy, well-maintained structure that blends seamlessly with the affluent northern ward surroundings. The house is framed by a modest stone wall, topped with wrought iron railings that lend it an air of understated elegance. The front gate, also made of iron, creaks slightly as it swings open to reveal a short, well-tended stone path leading to the front door. The facade of the house is constructed from light gray stone, punctuated by tall, narrow windows. The roof, slightly sloped, is made of dark slate tiles, adding to the building's solid appearance. A crest, a green snake, a gold snake upon a green field is prominently carved and inlaid upon a stout-looking wooden front door. You're standing in front of it. What
Well,
do you
I'm
wish
gonna
to do?
lead the way.
Okay.
And go and knock.
Okay. So you will dunk 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 knock on
Yeah.
the door. Does that mean the rest of the party sort of arrayed behind you?
I mean, unless they're pushing forward, I
Okay.
stepped
Yeah.
up in front of them.
yeah,
so-
that's
Everyone's letting Rhiannon take the lead here.
I'm not at all worried that this is obviously Slytherin house, but let's do it.
Okay. Yes, you speak parcel tongue. You're ready to go. Anyway, so what was I going to say? All right, so that door, obviously someone must be expecting company because it doesn't take long, probably under a 10 count for the door to open. And an elderly gentleman, well-dressed elderly gentleman, to open said door. He's a hawk-nosed man with a thin, wiry frame. His black and gray hair is neatly combed, and his sharp eyes miss nothing as he flickers over all of you. He has a look of perpetual alertness and readiness despite his early 60s, you're guessing, age. He is quite well dressed in colors of green and gold. Welcome, Lady Rhiannon. He is pointing to you.
That's correct. And the rest of Those I am presently adventuring with. Tormil will be.
On that one, I'm presently adventuring with. That'll get you a dry chuckle right there.
Well, I believe I told Tormil that I'm not an adventurer.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure that was for your companions and not for Tormil. But I mean, you do you. Okay. Excellent. He will say, Master Gost has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Please come in. And you will enter the first floor of this place. As you step into the entryway, you'll immediately notice the scent of freshly polished wood and the faint aroma of a meal being prepared. Oh, that smells good. That smells pretty good. The entryway opens into a small sitting room to the left, a kitchen on the right, and what probably is the dining room, but the door is still closed, way to the back, and an elegant staircase, iron wrought staircase that goes up to the second floor. The entryway, you assume, are all coming into it at this moment in time. Is that a correct state? Okay. Has polished wooden floors adorned with simple but elegant tapestries. There's a modest chandelier lit with candles, Mozart style, overhead, casting a warm glow on the room. To the left of the entryway is that sitting room. It's a cozy sitting room with plush green armchairs and a small brown leather couch arrayed around a low wooden table, shelves with knickknacks and books on the walls, and the scent of fresh-smelled flowers fill the air of that room. It looks pretty comfortable. It has a single window that is, getting moonlight to come into it at this particular moment. Opposite that room, on the opposite side of the hallway, I don't know why I said opposite twice, but whatever, is a kitchen, which is a far more practical space with a large wooden table in the center being used for meal preparation. Copper pots and pans are hanging from hooks on the walls. There's the scent of fresh baked bread. There's the scent of meat cooking, and it's bustling with activity. There is a woman, rosy-cheeked, stout woman in her 30s, maybe late 30s, and two stout, rosy-cheeked, brown-haired boys, one older than the other, that look like they're in their late teens and mid-teens, respectively, and have a distinctive resemblance to the woman who's doing the cooking. And they're dressed as, sort of servants and cooks are preparing what looks to be some sort of a sumptuous, complicated feast. You had a bunch of food for the holiday at Jamal's house back in Westgate, but that was, you and her cooking it. This is a professional group of trained cooks making a multi-course meal in this kitchen. And so they're bustling doing that. The gentleman who let you in will say, Master Gost will be down shortly. If you would like to have a seat in the sitting room, you're welcome to do that. There are two other things of note to pay attention to while you're sort of deciding where you're going to go here. And they're living beings, cats, in fact. If you recall, Tormil indicated to you that he had pets. And one of these cats is sitting at the top of the sort of spiral stairs that lead to the second floor, looking down on all of you. Finding my description of the cat. One moment, please. Description of the cat. It's important.
It'll be a fancy cat.
It's a fancy cat.
He has cats.
Tell us the cat is important without telling us the cat is important.
It's important. I mean,
He has cats. Rhiannon is in danger.
Danger!
Okay.
Danger! Where my notes are all over the place on this point. Okay, so yeah.
I just want to point out it's very. Was there another door? Was this the main official door? Because it's a very strange thing to have the kitchens visible, where the fancy people come in. So I'm looking around to see did this space look like it used to be something else? Maybe not a manor house.
This is a tall house, right? So it's thinner than it is. It's taller than it is wide. It's grandly constructed in the sense that it's made entirely of stone, and it's got a slate roof, and it's fancied up. It's got wrought iron fences, that sort of thing. But space is it's something of a premium in the city, and so it doesn't sprawl. It kind of goes up, so you kind of got to slam your stuff somewhat close together. And it's got, how do I say this? Really only Joel, you're noticing this because you're the only one who felt the need to say this. And yes, I see a cat, Randy. This has got a sort of a bachelor pad feel to it. This is not a family dwelling. Does that make more sense?
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Okay.
So it's not a manor house, it's like a townhouse.
Yeah.
Yes, I would describe it as such. Okay, so the
Are there
cat.
bars in the windows?
There are bars in the windows. Yes.
Okay.
So
Rough neighborhood.
well, all neighborhoods can be rough neighborhoods. Thieves go to the nice ones because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
The cat seated at the top of the stairs is a fluffy, white, like pure white furred cat with piercing blue eyes. And it's got sort of one paw lounging over the edge of the open space of the stair. And it's peering down at all of you with a regal glance as you're sort of coming into its abode, right? Just sort of looking down at all of you. And then in the sitting room, laying sort of splayed out across the brown leather couch of the sitting room is a cat that is short furred and sort of like dark but sort of striped. I'm not a cat breeds person, but if this is leaping out to you at all for a specific cat breed, let me know. And its eyes are green, and it is sort of a lift its head in interest in your general direction. These are normal cats. They're not like Tressum or like obviously magical cats. They just look like really nice cats.
Rihanna has a weakness for Tressum, so
okay. They're not belled, they're not collared. So, make of that what you will. And they've got a very much like we own the place, but that's cat. So nothing really strange there.
They're not necessarily shape-shifted wizards that have turned into cats.
Not necessarily.
But they could be.
I do have an important question for you I didn't ask you before you left the house, Eric. And that is, are you catless or catted at the moment?
I did not bring Nyx with me, no.
All right, so you are catless. Noted. Okay. So
it seems a little presumptuous to bring your cat to someone else's party.
Does it seem presumptuous? It's hard to say.
I mean, it's not like I'm a wizard. I couldn't pretend plausibly to be a wizard, and this is my familiar.
No, they're not buying that one. No. Okay, so
they're like, how much armor are you wearing? Well,
so what's your plan? Walk into the sitting room?
Go greet the cats, obviously.
I mean, obviously. Eric's making a beeline for the cat on that couch, apparently.
Casually.
Casual beeline.
I mean, we have a lot of cat lovers. I don't need to like bogart the cats.
Like these people can take their cat turn on the catwalk. They can take a turn on the catwalk.
I'm thinking that like I'm probably a bit sort of like nervous and not wanting to sit down. And so I'm gonna like hover in the doorway to the sitting room. And sort of like at the white cat.
Okay. So that will be you. You'll notice that it looks down at you. It's regarding you. But it isn't. I don't know if it's not friendly or it just doesn't care or it's definitely aloof, right?
Yep.
So it's regarding you with a degree of, you're making noises at me. Isn't that delightful? Does this normally work on other cats? It's kind of the attitude you're getting projected from it. Meanwhile, Eric, you're casually approaching the cat on the couch, which seems more interested, definitely a bit more curious. And it'll stretch languidly before it hops off the couch and pads over to you.
Okay.
Green, sharp eyes, inquisitive, and starts to sort of like snip. Do you wish to proffer a hand?
Yes, casually, not like in a threatening way.
Okay. It will sniff at your hand and mark itself on you.
Yep.
Rhiannon, roll a 20-sided die.
Oh, okay. $11.
The cat on the stairs, observing the cat in the sitting room, making nice with Eric. Almost, if you got a feeling off this cat, it's that the cat's like possessive, right? And like, why is that cat, who clearly belongs to me, like everything else in this house does, interacting with these people that have just come in here? What's that about? That's the vibe you get off this cat. You're a cat person, so I'm giving you these vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So Eric's making nice with the cat. Anybody else got anything before some noise distracts you from behind?
I would probably sing at the cat.
Joel
Look
is
at the
muted.
kitty. She's so pretty.
Sorry, is there a sideboard with anything to mix drinks on it?
In this particular room, yes, there is, in fact.
All right. I ask if anybody would like a drink, and if so, I pour one for them. I pour one for myself, but I am not drinking it. Just holding it for now.
There are at least 3 different types of liquor, and it's liquor, it's not wine, in these decanters. And it's sort of like amber colored to dark amber colored. You've got your choice of those 3.
Sure. Give me a glass
Light,
of whatever looks
medium,
most
and
flammable.
dark.
You never know.
Well, I'll go ahead
Okay.
and take one. Might as well.
Okay.
Right. So you'll start taking drink. This is your second of the evening. You're not now pre-gaming. You're gaming. Okay. And what was I going to say? So that's you, Eric. You've made nice with the cat. Rhiannon, you're paying some attention, so you won't be surprised when you see that Tormil is emerging from the hallway upstairs to the top of the stairs. He'll catch your gaze and incline his head to you.
I'll wave, but like not say anything right now, because
Mhm.
like the longer the others don't know he's here.
The better off it is. Well, a soft creak of wood as he mounts the top of from the wooden second floor to the metal stairs will draw everyone else's attention to the staircase leading down from that floor. And there he is, everyone now, Tormil Gost at the top of the stairs. Immediately, it's pretty clear that he's a man transformed by the comfort of being in his own home. He descends the stairs with a fluid, almost regal grace, his posture straight and head held high, exuding an aura of authority that he wasn't giving forth in the promenade or in the wilds of the Underdark. He's dressed in fine noble attire. He opted for the, stuff that was times 10 in terms of the cost. Deep green of his tunic and cloak echoing the colors of his family crest, which is prominently displayed on a brooch at his shoulder. The fabric is rich and velvety, embroidered with subtle gold threads that shimmer in the light, forming intricate arcane patterns that hint at his magical profession. His cloak drapes elegantly over his shoulders, fastened with that gold clasp I talked about a moment ago, which is shaped like a serpent, eyes set with emeralds. His dark hair, usually slightly disheveled when you've seen him before, is neatly combed and tied back, revealing sharp, intelligent features. His eyes, also a striking shade of green. Yours are now more akin to his, by the way, Rhiannon. Seem to gleam with a newfound confidence as they sweep over your group, lingering on you, Rhiannon, for a moment longer than everyone else. You can tell that your selection of dresses was a hit. There's a calm, assured smile on his lips, one that speaks that he's a man who knows that he's in control of the evening. As he reaches the bottom of the stairs, he steps forward with a smooth, unhurried step, his boots barely making a sound on the ground, his voice warm and welcoming as he says, "Welcome, my friends, to my humble abode. I trust the journey was not too taxing. Rhiannon, it is a delight to see you here."
I'm going to offer out my hand, kind of like a handshake or kind of like a kiss the back of the hand kind of thing, like sort of squishy enough that I can adapt to culturally whatever he takes to do
Whatever
with
he
it.
chooses to do? Okay.
Yeah.
He will, his eyes on everyone else, because he's waiting for them to say things, because you've given the hand and haven't immediately said a thing. eyes on everyone else. He will take his hand, or take your hand in his hand in a warm, firm grip, like sort of lingering on it, where you don't quite know what he's going to do with it. And then he'll bring it up to his lips as he brings them down to you to plant a nice warm kiss on it. You'll have a thought go through your head, Rhiannon.
Okay.
Your eyes are a different color than the last time you saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that troubling to you in any way?
I am not great with eye color myself, but I think that I would meet his eyes and see if there's any kind of reaction.
Okay, roll a 20-sided die. Let's see if there's any kind of reaction.
Okay. 4.
There's a reaction. He looks like you'll see an eyebrow go up subtly, like he was not trying to be overly dramatic about it, but he's noticed, because he's looked into your eyes before, that your eyes are now a much deeper shade of green, which again, similar to his own eye color, but yours have got a little extra panache in them. And there's something going on behind his gaze. Like, is he wondering if you've magicked them up just for him? Like, he's probably trying to deduce what's going on, but he doesn't seem unhappy about it. And in fact, he'll favor you with a little smile when he meets your eyes. There is a slightly predatory element to that smile, of a passionate nature. He seems more secure and confident than he was before. And you probably can't help yourself but be a little bit pleased by that fact.
Okay. So I'll say something like, the carriage was quite impressive, and it was a short journey, blah blah blah, sort of polite nothings that I'm not going to make up in detail. And then
I refuse to make up these polite nothings.
At the end of it, I will throw in a little bit of a I've had some interesting encounters with magic, and no doubt it would bore my companions to speak in detail over dinner, but perhaps afterwards I could gain the benefit of your greater experience with the book learning about such subjects.
He'll incline his head to you. I noticed that nobody else jumped in to say something to him, so I'm presuming what that means is you're all kind of just lurking back and letting Rhiannon engage. Like everyone's just watching.
He didn't
like,
really
let's
greet us. It would be weird to get in the middle of.
He did. He greeted. He said,
he greeted us like, "Hello, everybody," and especially
Look, I'm just vibing with this cat. I don't know what the rest of you want.
Is there perhaps anything on the walls, weapons, art, or books on shelves? Is there
books, knickknacks, art, no weapons?
Okay. I pick something to ask about. I try to get him started on like, hey, this is a very interesting piece. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
All right, so you'll jump in with that in a moment. Eric, you're just vibing with the cat, as was clear before. Randy,
and I'm keeping an eye on everything because God of Guardians, etc.
It's your biz.
It's
Randy,
my duty.
anything special from you here, or you're just letting this situation sort of roll out?
Letting the situation roll out. I was singing to a cat. But,
all right.
yes.
So it's you and Eric that are sort of like double teaming this relationship with the cat.
I wouldn't put it that way. But
That's a weird way to put it.
Okay,
But we are both petting the cat.
Yeah, phrasing, everybody, phrasing.
All right. Are we still doing phrasing? Okay, so
Chris,
yes.
Specifically, if there is anything related to Lathander that I spot that I could use, that I could bring that up.
All right, one moment, please.
You mentioned they were Lathanderites.
I did. Nope, complete absence of Lathander.
Okay.
There, you will detect something about Siamorphe.
I don't know who that is. So.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
You will remember. You will continue to not know. Was there anything?
It's like aspirin, but it's better for your liver, I think.
Yeah, it is definitely. So, Allie, was there anything that you were going to add there, or?
Been trying to.
Yep. So that's why I popped around.
Yeah. Amara will As this is kind of happening, Amara will step forward. Thank you for the invitation tonight.
His eyes will flick over to you. Roll a 20-sided die.
Okay. 9.
Okay. You haven't been doing this for long, but you've been doing it for long enough to know how men typically look at you. He is not looking at you in that way.
Fair
And
enough.
it's not like he's not looking at you in that way, because he's, like, I've steeled myself against the XYZ. He's almost, the last person who looked at you in this way was a woman out in front of the Thalavar house, who was implying certain things. So take that and make of it what you will.
Well, I will try not to miss a step, and just, it's, a delight to be able to kind of experience some of the some other places in Waterdeep. I can't say I've ever been to the City of Splendors before, but
It's a wonderful place, and over dinner, I'm happy to discuss with you anything more you'd like to know about it.
of course, please don't let me interrupt.
But Rhiannon, if I might, I wonder if I could show you my study. It's one of my favorite places in the house. The rest of you would care to wait here for dinner to be served?
I look at
Of
Rhiannon.
course.
I'm going to take my cue from her on this one.
Yeah, no shot for you to throw in your line about whatever, because between Allie and that, just cutting you off with that comment, no window presented itself for you to make your remark. Yep.
So I'm gonna look upstairs and say that sounds great, and then I'm gonna look back at the others and say, like, I'm sure dinner will be soon.
Great.
Oh, I'm certain that's the case. Mere moments, I'm sure.
Enjoy yourself in the meantime.
Okay, Rhiannon rolls 27 die.
$15.
Okay. Something, you don't know what, but something transpired in that brief conversation between Tormil and Allie. You don't know what happened there, because you didn't really see it in the same way that Allie saw it, but something happened there.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So he will say, he'll literally put his arm out for you to put your arm in his arm.
Sure.
Okay. And you will do just that. And he'll start to lead you up to the second floor of the house. I'll go to that in a second. I just want to first floor it. So does anyone else have anything that they want to do on the first floor?
I want to ask Eric, since he is proficient in etiquette. Eric, is it normal for just going off of Bridgerton here? Is it normal for unattached men and women to be like alone among the upper classes?
I would like to make an etiquette check, please.
Is this normal behavior?
Please roll a 27 die.
I
have
rolled a
etiquette.
4.
Okay.
I have
So-
etiquette.
Oh,
There
do
you go.
Okay.
Do you want
No,
to roll an
I'm
etiquette check
checking
as
if
well?
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do not.
Well, whoever's got etiquette, and it's Eric. Your etiquette isn't necessarily fully etiquette Forgotten Realms versus just sort of like etiquette. But
I was trained by a Forgotten Realms person, though.
so it was a Forgotten Realms etiquette. You on Earth. You're hopeless about where the spoons go, but here you've got some. Okay, fair enough.
That's right.
Then there it is.
Yes.
Waterdeep is known as a fairly open-minded city, and the nobles in particular are considered to be somewhat lecherous. So it's not really weird. If the older they get, the more that they tend to care about propriety. But I did say something earlier about a bachelor pad. So also keep in mind, Rhiannon's not a noble. So the rules that apply between nobles do not apply between nobles and non-nobles. And Joel's like, yeah, that's my point. Okay. So
Yeah.
Eric, that's what you got from your etiquette roll.
Okay.
Okay.
I assume she'll set him on fire if he does anything too fresh.
Yeah, I will note the moment those two leave the room, Amara's expression goes from like polite and happy to she looks pissed. Like I look salty, and I will just down whatever drink I was given and
Sure.
set the glass.
This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff, and it's expensive. So damn it, drink more of it because you're taking.
Oh
that
yeah, no,
man's
I'm
money.
getting another one.
And you're like 95 pounds, right? So
Okay.
Clearly something
wanna-
happened because she is.
Everyone can see that, like Randy, Joel, and Eric. Cat, fancying or not, you can tell that Allie is pissed. So, do you want to engage at all? Something must have happened in that very brief moment between Allie and this gentleman. Anybody want to check into that?
yeah, it's Allie, or Amara, what's going on? You okay?
Like as she's pouring herself another glass. Do you recall when our visit to the Thalavars?
Kind of hard to
She'll-
forget.
Yeah, she'll take another.
Really?
she'll
I
sip
don't
this
remember
one.
it. I'm just like I got the cat. I'm cradling. I'm just under the chin.
You recall how that woman we met insinuated certain things about me?
That you were an elf.
That we were a bunch of penniless adventurers trying to
Don't-
cheat her mistress.
That
That he would.
No.
That Elric was a fake Thalavar.
oh,
There were so
that
many
too.
things being implied.
Was it something about you being so ungodly beautiful?
Alric, are you? You can't be this dense.
Look, I died since then, so
It's true.
let's
Trip 'em
let's
Let me put
let's
it
have
this way, and
let's hold a
this is
little
when-
bit of patience from my memory.
we'll put it this way. Since this is a PG-13 stream and I don't want to use unfortunate language, she insinuated I was a lady of the evening.
They think you're a fest girl.
Yes.
Oh,
And
do you
that
need somebody chastened?
That man
Well, yeah.
looked at me in the exact same way.
Do you need that man chastened?
Wait, the butler or our
No,
host?
our host for the evening.
Do you need that man chastened?
I feel like doing so in his own home would be a little untoward, don't you?
In terms of etiquette, yes.
I have that skill.
So I'm going to soothe my own wounded pride by drinking
Pause.
as much of his expensive.
You're not
Yes.
going to say something illegal, are you? Because I can go into the other room.
No, I'm just going to drink
Great.
his booze and eat his food and leave.
Perfect. Look, I'm just trying to watch out for you.
I know. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm just going to avail myself to the evening's offerings and then never think about this place again.
Harumph.
Would you all
Right.
like to know something about the etiquette of the realms?
I
It is
mean,
considered
Eric, we
incredibly rude to look down upon a purveyor of polite company in this way. And this man is clearly not polite.
It also seems extremely rude to leave your guests unattended once you have greeted them.
Well,
Also foolish, unless one of them is a paladin of hell. He probably thought this through.
clearly,
Or the cat's a wizard in
Like I
disguise.
said, Mr. Purrs and I can go in the other room.
clearly, his ulterior motives had more to do with getting Rhiannon here and very little to do with the rest of us.
Rhiannon has good judgment. She'll burn him if he
Oh, I'm
does
sure
anything
she'll
too
be
fresh.
fine.
And that's two. We're in the two. She'll set him on fire.
But regardless, I'm
Regardless,
not
you are
sure-
salty and you need a drink.
Several.
Perfect.
My point
Right, so-
being, let's be wary. Something about this doesn't sit right with me.
Very well. Alcoholism is a disease, and paladins are immune to diseases. Let's do this.
Do that. Okay. You're not
She'll
immune
just
to poison.
Flashing on
Okay.
so many different Buffy episodes right now. Okay.
Yeah, right. I'm glad you're sticking with Buffy. Anyway, speaking of various things, so Rhiannon will rewind to the part where you're climbing the stairs, right? As he leads you up the stairs, the soft glow of the house's lighting casts gentle shadows along the walls. You'll encounter that white cat on the stairs, sitting regally. And you got something for that? Or do you just want to, the cat's going to be regal? You're just going to let the cat be regal?
I'm not going to attempt to pet it, but I am going to say, hello, kitty, and like incline my head to it, like it's a person, and see what it does.
See what it does? It will, when you say hello, kitty, he will say, that is Sapphire, the queen of the house. Emerald is in the sitting room, making nice with your friend the paladin.
Scritch, scritch, scritch.
The cat will just sort of look at you, and if a cat, as the two of you pass by, the cat will blatantly and definitively mark him. And if a cat could say, that's my man, that is what this cat is saying to you at this time. Okay? So take that what you will with it.
Fair.
You'll get onto the second floor, you'll pass the grand entry hall, and you'll enter the study. The study is a haven of, knowledge and refinement. Tall, thin bookcases line the walls, filled with meticulously organized tomes and scrolls. The rich, dark wood of the shelves gleams in the firelight from a small hearth in the room. A fine wooden desk stands near the windows, offering a view of the street below. Comfortable chairs are positioned near the fireplace, inviting you to sort of sit down and read. In the corner of the room, next to one of those cozy chairs, is a perch designed to resemble a small, intricate tree. Wrapped around this perch is Tormil's stunning pet snake. He did mention that to you as well.
Yeah, he did.
The snake is a vibrant emerald green. Looks a bit, if you know anything about snakes, looks a bit like a boa, like a constricting snake. Okay.
Sure.
Its scales shimmering like precious gems. It has striking orange eyes that seem almost intelligent in their gaze. And as you enter the room, Tormil will say, "This is my pride and joy, both the study and my lovely companion here. She's quite the conversationalist in her own way. I call her Jade. Isn't she beautiful?"
Yeah, very beautiful. He might notice that, like, while I had the impulse to pet the cat, but like clearly cat didn't want any. No impulse to pet the snake here. Like, not afraid, but no impulse to pet.
Impulse to pet the snake. Okay. Yes, he probably is paying very careful attention to you. And so if that's a pick-upable thing, that's a pick-upable thing.
Yeah.
Jade, the snake, seems to sense the presence of new company and lifts her head slightly. Her orange eyes locking onto yours with an almost uncanny awareness. Remains calm, but body coiling and uncoiling around the branch. You wouldn't be shocked if this might be a familiar.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And he will say, "Jade has been with me for many years. She's a keen observer of all those who come and go. It's said that snakes are the symbols of birth and transformation. I find that fitting, given my own journey in the art. But you wanted to talk about a magical matter?"
Yeah. But first off, I had understood that the dinner, my friends were welcome, and it seemed like maybe Amara, you were not as happy to have her here. I don't know what that was, but if I misstepped, I apologize.
He'll flush for a second, like you caught him at something that he didn't think you were going to catch him at. And he'll, for the first time in the course of the evening, he'll stumble over his words a little bit. and he'll say, I apologize. I didn't mean to be rude to your friend. I didn't like the way that she was trying to draw my eyes from you. I think I said something about this once, and I understand beautiful women, and sometimes they manipulate, and I just didn't like that. I didn't like that feeling. So I apologize if I offered insult. It wasn't my intention to do that. Perhaps it was my opinions were plain on my face. To my mind, and he's saying this now with laser focused intent, you are the most beautiful woman in this house. Now you're stammering a bit. Dry chuckle.
Oh no, not what I need right now.
I was going to say, we have a saying about this on our world, which is pluck out your eyes, bro.
Well, certainly, it's nothing that Amara is not manipulative. So set your mind at rest. And
he'll nod sagely when you say that.
So, and yeah, well, just quickly, because I don't want to leave them waiting. I didn't mean to sort of drag them along and then abandon them.
It's a fine meal. It will take time to prepare. We have a few moments.
Some of the magic, I noticed my eyes. The magic is what changed them, and I had rather that they
now
hadn't.
Now he's looking curious at you as you're saying that, and they'd rather they hadn't. I will confess they're beautiful. They really are. And I will confess that I thought for an instant that perhaps you had used a spell to change them for my behalf. I'm very sorry that whatever happened was unintended. But if it eases your mind at all, I think that they are stunning.
Well, thank you. The color is connected to somebody that I would rather not be connected to.
A person?
A power, shall I say?
Oh, I see.
But that's deeper than I wish to go. I don't know, like, I didn't mean to ask you, like, hey, can you help me turn him back? It's just the others, they have different kinds of magic, and there's no one to speak to about such things. So
I may be able to attempt such a thing. I wonder whether spells that alter. I'll need to do a little bit of research, but I'm happy to do it on your behalf.
Oh, well, thank you. I'd appreciate it.
Excellent. And as you say that, you will hear a bell tinkling on the first floor that indicates that dinner is ready.
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, well, perhaps not as long as I thought. And he'll offer his arm for you to take as he heads downstairs.
Is it... yeah, and I'll take his arm. I was looking in the chat. I don't know, Chris, if you're looking at the chat. But
I can only half see it. Go ahead.
Okay.
If there's something important you think I need to know, tell me.
Well, if we needed to transition to another scene before people have to leave, is all.
Yeah, this seems like a good transition.
Well,
Yeah.
so the thing that I was talking about is the thing that I mentioned is supposed to happen like well after this. So it's just I'm not sure we're gonna have time.
All right. So if you'd like, we can call this the end of our evening as you enter the dining room downstairs, or we can go for a little while longer. The choice is yours.
I can go for 13 more minutes. I just I'm
let's if that is in fact the case, let us stop now so we do not try to precisely time your 13 minutes. I don't want to do that to you. So that said, Rhiannon, he will take your arm in his arm and lead you back downstairs, and then he will return to the first floor, and you will all be together again and about to go into the dining room as we end our session for this evening.
Okay. Well, stuff is happening. Rhiannon's on this date. We're gonna
Inadvertently, yeah.
we're gonna see how it resolves. Maybe someone will be lit on fire. Who can say? I have been Erskine V, playing Elric Thalavar, Paladin of Helm, teacher of the next generation of Shadowbane, who may not become Shadowbane. Who can say? Thanks, Joel. Anyway, writer, author, game designer, Twitch streamer, you know the works. Go check out the dungeonscrawlers Discord channel. It's really fun. We talk about this game and other games that we're running. We have a lot of content coming out this year, which you're probably aware of because you're probably seeing this like several months after I've been recording it, and this stuff has already been showing. So thank you so much, and see you next time. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I've been Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. You can find some of my work on patreon.com/Alexander Pitchford. I have a few short stories published with Outland Entertainment and various anthologies, with more coming in 2025. I'm excited for that. So yeah, this has been an interesting evening.
I've been Rhiannon Held. Check out my books. The Silver series of Anthropological Werewolves under Rhiannon Held, and then the Amsterdam Institute Space Opera series under RZ Held. Got nanites and adventure and romance and all kinds of good stuff like that.
I think you're on mute.
I am Joel Everett, and I have such a bad feeling about where this is going. So,
Oh yeah, me too.
but thanks for coming along on this journey with us. That is possibly turning into a horror story.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
I'm Randonius. Yeah, sorry, Allie. I think I accidentally popped off.
yeah.
Just to
I'll
mess
have
up all the
re-edit
video.
that.
But
It's fine.
anyway, chaos reigns, anarchy
Supreme.
rules. Peace out.
Ah, my lawful good. You know, I almost did it.
You
Anyway,
almost had it. All right, so back over to me. Again, thank you all for joining us on episode 10 of our journey. Episode 11 coming your way soon, and I can say that with some confidence because these are going to air close to each other.
yeah, it will literally be like next week for you. For us,
There
it'll
you
be
go,
who
right?
knows.
Who
Anyway,
knows? And we'll get dinner. We'll get all kinds of excitement, and I look forward to you all tuning in for that. So, till next time.